Hello, my friends. It is time for you to love your body. See, we are all shown so many ads to make us start believing that there's a certain type of body ideal that we should strive for, that is acceptable, that is the most beautiful. But this is just some BS, and you have every right and every tool you need to start appreciating your body more right now. You see, the only reason why the skinny model look is the perceived best way to look right now, or the most beautiful way to look right now, is because of advertisements and different brands and the convenience of using skinny people to model clothes. There really isn't any merit to this. It's just something that has happened in our society and has stuck for the past like 50 years or whatever. It hasn't even been a long trend at all. And I think at this point we're all fairly familiar with the fact that beauty trends shift between generations and decades and so on because of our values changing. Right now in this time, capitalism and materialism has been what people valued, which is the person who gets to wear all of these clothes. This person or these types of people are made famous and are made valuable and are made to be the image of what we should be because of the importance of brands. If we didn't value clothing or buying material things and instead we valued health or we valued having a lot of food security, or we would probably see the model of beauty to be women who are much more curvy or who have more fat, as that represents food security, for example. And these have all been images of beauty that we have seen in the past. But now I'm coming here really with the intention to dispel the importance of any type of beauty ideal and the stress that you are likely putting on yourself to fit into these ideals. I believe you may be doing this because I did it for years and years and years and years, and I tortured myself over it. And I can see now in other people when I believe they might be struggling with many of the same ideas and struggles that I was back in the day. And I can say that now, truly, from about a year and a half ago, I have been able to accept my body like never before. And even though I have gained 20 pounds and I look different than I used to, I love my body more than I ever did before. And this can feel challenging at first, but it is so, 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 so worth it. And you know, you deserve, regardless of what your body looks like, you deserve to feel safe, to feel happy, and to feel appreciative of the body that you were given, because it's not to be taken for granted. Our body is here to be respected. Without our body, we wouldn't be here on earth. We wouldn't be able to walk, to speak, to travel, to have any of the experiences that we have. And so truly, I think it is disgraceful how hateful we are towards our bodies and how negative and just how we bring ourselves down. It is one of the most destructive things we can do as a person. And as I said, all of us deserve to feel safe nourishing our bodies. We deserve to feel appreciative of our bodies. And we deserve to feel happy when we look at ourselves in the mirrors and say kind words rather than look at ourselves and say in our head nasty things that are making our everyday worse and are making us feel uncomfortable in the most natural thing we have. The fact is that regardless of who you are and what you look like, in this day and age, if you struggle with any body issues, the person who has the body you wish you had are also struggling with the same thing. It's the grass is greener on the other side situation. And this only happens because people project their unhappiness onto the perceived problem. And they believe that, oh, well, if my body was different, then I would be happy, which is just never true. If you have any type of unhappiness, it's not going to be fixed from your body. It's not so simple. And it may be fun to try a different body and feel what it feels like, and you may get different responses from other people around you. You may feel different responses from yourself. At the end of the day, it's not going to fix your unhappiness. That is stemming from the fact that you, for some reason, haven't practiced accepting yourself as you are. I want to go into another concept now, which is that a lot of people, they want to have a certain thing or want to have a certain image for other people rather than themselves, because they believe it will make other people like them more or be more attracted to them, so then they will feel better about themselves. But here is the reality of the situation. In my life, I've noticed that there's fairly few people who are generally that concerned with body. For example, if we take women, first of all women are struggling with their own body and their own body image. And if you have friends that don't have the so perceived perfect body, then they'll probably relate to you better. You can have more conversations about, not having a perfect body. And you can do this even if people think you have a perfect body too. You can say, even though my body looks like this and it maybe looks exactly like the ideal, I still struggle a lot. It's easier to connect, I think, over our vulnerabilities and the fact that none of us are perfect or feel perfect, even if other people perceive us as perfect. The most perfect thing we can do is actually to take the steps to accept ourselves where we are. Also, if you are looking for the approval of the opposite sex, or even if you are in a same-sex relationship, etc., being genuine is the best thing you can be. Most people are not looking for specifically XYZ types of curves. Sometimes, people have their preferences, but there is no one preference across the board. So why think you need to have a specific type of body shape? You will either find the type of person that likes and loves your specific type of body. Like, there are men who loves every size of buttocks and every size of breasts. And there's women who like chubby men and, tall men and short men and everything in between. It's not just the image of, all women want a man with abs that's ripped and tall. That's ridiculous. And it's the same for women. Not every man wants a woman who looks like has a model body or is super curvy. There's men who who like really small breasts, and there's men who like chubbier girls. Like, everything is acceptable. You just have to find the right person. Or you will even find a person who maybe isn't that attached to a certain type of body type, but just likes you for who you are and will love your body because it's part of you. We are way too obsessed with filling this material idea of what we're supposed to look like. And it's really time for us to start treating it with more respect. And this was really one of the big things that helped me on my journey, was disconnecting my body from trying to please other people and trying to fit into some type of societal norm, and shifting it more into, what can I do to be healthy? What can I do to make myself feel good? And even focusing on being strong rather than focusing on what my body looked like. For me, I really wanted to feel nourished, and I wanted to feel strong, not just build muscle or whatever so that I looked good, but to just throw the idea of what I look like out the window. And as I did this, I used to be vegan, so before I gained 20 pounds, I was at my skinniest. And honestly, I was at my sickest as well. My family was getting concerned that I might be anorexic, and I definitely had a lot of disordered eating, in the sense that there was a lot of fear around food, and there was a lot of anxiety around eating because of what I would look like, or what I thought I would look like. That it was scary during some points because I was going up in weight, and like, I lost my thigh gap and whatever, and it was uncomfortable. But I also found so much beauty in my new curves and in how my body looked because I decided to. And because I felt significantly better, I gained weight, but I also gained muscle. I also stopped feeling cold all the time. I started enjoying eating food more, and I started seeing the beauty in in other people's bodies rather than constantly comparing myself to see if I was the skinniest person in the room, which was something I used to do really often. Another thing that's so ironic with the whole being skinny and looking like model tiny and stuff is that even if you achieve that body type, you are never out of this ridiculous and energy consuming energy of just comparing yourself all the time because you're stuck in this loop of defining your value based upon what your body looks like. You are so focused on having the perfect body that you give it so much energy. And once there's someone who like is as skinny as you or skinnier or whatever, you're just like, "Oh my god, no. Do I look bad now because they look this way?" At least that's how I felt. And it's just this superficial pride and this superficial like way to define yourself that truly doesn't mean anything. Because guess what? Your body is going to change at one point or another. You know, we're all going to grow old, and when we're 40 or 50 or even before that, when we have kids or when we go through hormonal changes that you can't escape through life, your body is going to change. At some point, you're likely going to put on weight. And that's okay. I promise you that's okay. It's just something that we have to accept and learn to appreciate. Learn to appreciate the different stages and ways of being a woman or a man. There's more to life than this superficial image. There's beauty and grace in seeing how we change. Life is about being experienced. Life is about feeling. Life is about being in our power. And subscribing to some ridiculous image about what we're supposed to look like is so not being in our power. Being in our power is feeling strong in our energy and feeling strong in who we are and not giving our strength away to things that are outside of ourselves. It means protecting ourselves and respecting ourselves and realizing that we, as in our own personal expression, is far, far, far more important and more powerful than anything outside ourselves. I do think this is enough to chew on right now about how we can be more in our strength when it comes to our natural body, when we are being healthy, when we are eating the right amount so that we are feeding all of our organs and making sure that our internal system is balanced, especially when it comes to the whole being underweight as some kind of social acceptance aspect of how we view things right now. Truly, don't destroy your body because you think it will give you some kind of social validation. It's not worth it. Not eating properly, not fueling yourself is terrible for your mental health. It's just bad for you in general. You're not going to live as fulfilling of a life as you can by undernourishing yourself and also constantly berating yourself by not meeting up to these imaginary standards that we've made up that truly don't matter at the end of the day. Rather, just connect to people who see past your body and ground yourself a little bit. Realize that like animals don't care about what your body looks like, so why should we humans be so hyper fixated on it? And truly, like, humans have gone through these different phases of valuing different body shapes as beautiful, and I think it's time to end this. At the end of the day, why should we subscribe to some kind of beauty ideal? I think we all need to try a lot harder to just accept that we all look different and it is all acceptable as we are. And truly, a lot of people feel this way. So don't be scared to be who you are and to embrace your body. And this starts with small steps. Just, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, just take a moment to notice the negative thoughts you're having, if you're having any. And then just notice a couple things that you do like about yourself, even super basic things. Like, be grateful for the fact that you have a body that works, that you can digest food, that you can see. Not everybody has the opportunity to experience this. And it's not to be taken for granted. Anything that we don't appreciate, we might lose. And the more we appreciate something, the more we get to enjoy it and just enjoy our life instead of being stuck in these destructive and negative patterns. Start being kinder to yourself and start separating yourself from these societal ideals that break you and bring you down. You don't have to be trapped in this kind of thinking in order to be accepted into society. You are so, so, so worthy as you are. There are so many people out there who love you and so many people who have the potential to love you for who you are. Connect with those people and give your energy to those people and give your energy to yourself. Give love to yourself, because truly the saying is true. If you don't love yourself, who will love you? You have to start seeing the worth that you have innately. With that being said, I love all of you guys so much, and thank you for watching this video. Bye bye.